Hi, this is Vincent with SCAIowa, and another part of our introduction to the Society for Creative Anachronism. The SCA is a worldwide historic recreation organization dedicated to recreating all the best aspects of the Middle Ages. Anything that was made, used, consumed before 1600. We have friends who enjoy learning about it, exploring it, trying it, teaching others about it. It's a way for us and you to explore history hands-on. But that's such a huge topic. It's really hard for us to describe all the different things that we do within our hobby. And that's what this video is trying to dig a little bit deeper to explain to you some of the different things that people do. But of course, that's one of the challenges that we have, is describing who we are to new and potential members. Some of our friends are really good at this. Other friends really are just focused on the fun they're having, and so they don't always have a good way to describe what they do to others. We have other friends who are really good at describing the one small part that they participate in, but they forget to mention all of the other things that are involved with this hobby. Hopefully this is a different way to describe this so that it's useful for you. Now, different people have tried this in different ways. For instance, our board of directors of the nonprofit SCA came up with these core value statements, which are good bits of information. And if you can, you should probably check these out. They're on the SCA.org website, and they're good information, but they aren't really good at talking about who we are. When we started the SCAIowa project, a project to support recruitment and retention across Iowa and further afield, we came up with our own core value statements, statements about who we were and what we do, so that we can better communicate to you, the potential member, about our hobby. So these are a few of those. One, fundamentally, is that the SCA is fun, creation, and creativity through historic recreation. Historic recreation is a key part of what we do within the SCA. If you're not interested in exploring history, then maybe this isn't the right hobby for you. We do this in a variety of ways. Exploring history is a distinguishing feature of our hobby, and you can see that in so many of the different things that we do. We support people in creating things at whatever their skill and knowledge level that they're at right now, with the assumption that they'll be learning and growing along with us. So we don't have a bare minimum expectation for knowledge or skill before you start participating. We do recreate the past, sometimes as actual reproductions of found objects, of extant pieces that have survived from the past, and other times we take the skills that we have learned when we are making these reproductions, and we try and make new old things. We try to make a new version of something that would have existed. This is a distinguishing feature between the SCA and some of the other historic recreation organizations out there, where they only allow things that have extant examples, things sitting in museums that they can recreate. We can acknowledge that there are aspects of history that are not conducive to recreating history in the modern world. There are times where humans were less nice to each other, or we did things that were pretty horrible or dangerous, and we don't always reproduce those things. We can acknowledge that at certain times in human history there was a lot of slavery, but we don't have slavery within the SCA. There are various other aspects that we can say, yes, that existed, but we don't do it because it's not culturally acceptable now. The SCA is a community that is strengthened through its diversity in a number of ways. Now, one of the ways clearly that we are strengthened is by the diversity of the people who are joining our hobby. We have people from many different socioeconomic backgrounds, different educational backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds or ethnicities, and when they come together in this hobby, their diversity strengthens us as a whole. You will also see diversity in the time periods and the cultures that are represented within the SCA. We know that there are some historic recreation organizations that reproduce only one small part of history, only one time period in culture, and that's okay. That's where they have their fun. But we like to bring together a lot of different cultures and a lot of different time periods, and that's been at the core of what the SCA is for as long as the SCA has been around. You'll also see a wide diversity in the activities and pursuits that people follow within the SCA. This again adds to the fun of our hobby. Yes, there are some other hobbies out there that focus maybe just on the combat recreation, and that's great for them. We have the combat recreation, but we also have people reproducing the clothing and people reproducing the food and people making songs and music and dance and all of the other things too. And that diversity adds to the fun of our hobby. One of the other key distinguishing features is that there is that diversity in skill levels. There are people coming to us with a lot of knowledge, and there are people that are coming to us with just the desire to learn. This is great because the SCA encourages self-paced learning and personal growth. It's one of those key features that makes this hobby so fun, but also one of those features that we're not always really great at explaining to new and potential members. A key goal is personal growth within this hobby in whatever area you're interested in pursuing, and at whatever pace is right for you. It's not like there's someone who's standing over your shoulder saying you need to learn this and this and this and you need to do it by next weekend. You get to determine how fast you make progress, and you get to determine what you make progress in, what you choose to learn about. We support this growth and learning in a variety of different ways, both officially and unofficially, with things such as mentoring, with classes, and with supportive feedback from members. The SCA does strive to be an enjoyable hobby and a form of escapism, because the modern world is tedious from time to time, and we all like to get into this adventure of exploring the past, but in a safe way. We do like to leave the modern world of work, religion, and politics behind because it's just so depressing sometimes. And sometimes you need to step away from it and have some fun. We do make concessions for the sake of safety for our participants and to keep our people safely participating long into the future. So yes, some of the items of armor are modified from what they would have been to make them more safe for our participants today. Some of the pigments that our artists use don't contain lead, when in medieval times they would have had lead in them. Some of the makeup that people would use isn't containing the mercury or lead that they would have had in the past. Yes, we do make concessions to make things safer for our participants now. We do strive to create safe environments that are free from harassment, bigotry, and bullying. We do have procedures in place if people cannot behave. Unfortunately, the SCA is a lot like the rest of the real world, where there are occasionally some jerks that come in through the front door. We do have systems in place to deal with them, though, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. We also strive for communities that allow for relationships between members with consent, free from sexual harassment and sexual misconduct. Again, there are things in place in order to deal with people who cannot behave themselves. If you have an issue, there is help within the SCA. You can contact your local officers or your local seneschal, who's the local chapter president, if you need assistance. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, or if you need some help beyond that, you can contact the kingdom officers, the regional officers within your kingdom, or you can contact the kingdom seneschal for some assistance. In the Kingdom of Callantyre, there is also the Kingdom Advocate's Office, and you should feel free to reach out to them if you need some assistance with any of these issues. Now, we do recognize that people have fun in many different ways within the SCA. If you've watched any of these other videos, you've seen me say it before, and I'm going to say it again. There are many ways to play within the SCA. There are many ways for you to participate and have fun, and that's fundamentally part of what our hobby is. We understand that different people have different areas of interests, different subjects they're interested in, different time periods, and different cultures. That's one of the strengths of the SCA. That's one of the things that makes it so interesting, is you can explore these different areas, and that's okay. But what's more, We recognize that people play in different ways and in different amounts. We'd like to see our friends all the time. Some friends we see almost every weekend. Other friends we only see a couple times a year. Yes, we wish we could have seen them more often, but that's how often they can participate. You need to find the right balance for you, how often you can show up and participate, and what ways you want to participate within this hobby. The SCA does strive to be a family-friendly organization in a variety of ways. We do support people of all ages in participating, and we feel that the lessons learned from our hobby are of great benefit to younger members. I definitely wish I could have participated when I was a kid. Imagine the fun you would have had getting to dress up on the weekends. Well, you can start bringing your kids along now if you have them, because it's an opportunity for them to learn about history in a hands-on way, side by side with you. We support and encourage our younger members and their parents, and we attempt to welcome them and facilitate their participation. This doesn't mean that it's a babysitting service. You can't just drive by, drop off your kids, and leave. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there are oftentimes activities and things put in place to make it easier for parents to bring along kids and to keep participating within our hobby. The SCA encourages members to participate in local groups, at the kingdom level, and at the society level. Now, we all receive benefits by being part of this hobby. We all get to enjoy the fun by being part of it. And we recognize that people put in effort to support this hobby to keep it going. We hope that all members, you, me, everyone else, will contribute in the ways that they feel comfortable contributing and to the level that they feel comfortable contributing. Now, this isn't an advertisement trying to get you to bring me money. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is volunteering and helping out. Sometimes it's as simple as helping to take money at the gate when people are checking in. Sometimes it's as simple as helping to take the garbage out or cooking the feast or helping to keep the archery line safe. There are many ways that you can volunteer within an educational organization like the SCA, and we hope that you get value from it so you'll want to contribute. Benefiting from the society means participating in it and hopefully contributing to its continued existence. I do have one final bit of advice which is really kind of off topic but really kind of useful to explain who we are. The kindergarten rules still apply. Be nice to people when you show up and start participating. That's really simple. We want people to be nice. If you're a jerk, you might not have people wanting to interact with you a whole lot. That's just the way the world works. Help out. I mentioned volunteering. There's many different ways you can offer to help out. From helping someone to carry in a basket to helping serve a feast, there's many different ways you can help out. And always ask first, whether it's taking a picture with someone or touching their project that they're working on or anything else, just ask before you do it. And that's a great way to avoid annoying people. Now, hopefully by going through these core value statements that we developed within SCAIowa, you have a better understanding of kind of who we are and what we do. But there's still more you need to find out. Check out some of the other videos in this series in order to understand more about the martial activities that people participate in, the combat recreation, or the arts and sciences that people do as they are recreating different things from the past. Hopefully you'll find value in watching some of these videos, and we'll get to see you soon at an event.